Let's have a chat with Michael Stark, Cabinet Member for Children's Services on Redbridge Council, who joins us now. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
Hi, your policy then on fostering and smoking, what is it?
Well, we intend from 2010 that any foster carers in the London Borough of Redbridge will be non-smokers. There will always be exceptions to this, of course, when, you know, there will always be the exceptions. And the reasons of this are because we are informed that cot death, asthma, middle ear disease, pneumonia, bronchitis are illnesses that are increased by smoking.
By passive smoking?
Yes, by passive smoking. And we also know that Professor Robert West, who is the Director of Tobacco Studies at Cancer Research, has stated that whilst fostering is a difficult area, and it sounds harsh, I think this ban is a good thing. On balance, you have to go with the health of the child.
Right, okay, slow down a bit. You're saying it's not a blanket ban?
Well, there's always exceptions, isn't there?
No, is it a blanket ban? Because you mentioned... hang on a minute. There seems to be a contradiction in what you're saying. It's either a blanket ban or it isn't.
No, if only life was so simple, John, but
really?
It isn't. The reality is that we, our foster carers we have now, who are smokers, will be encouraged to give up smoking, and we'll be providing that support.
That's good.
People we are taking on will be required to be non-smokers.
So no new foster parents will be allowed. Let me just clarify.
Yes,
I haven't finished. No new foster parents will be allowed if they're smokers after 2010, yes?
There will always be exceptional circumstances. I mean,
that is different to what the policy said.
No, the policy has always said there will be exceptional circumstances.
What would be an exceptional circumstance?
Well, let me give you an example. I was thinking of this coming home on the train the other day. Suppose in your street, knew a child and you was very friendly, sometimes stayed with you, but you weren't technically related. You know, they were an auntie or an uncle or something like that. And there was some disaster. You know, the family were wiped out in some terrific, awful event. But obviously, a child might want to live with you if you're willing to take them on and so on. Exceptional situations like that, we would obviously look at.
I understand that. What about an existing foster parent who doesn't give up smoking, who says, actually, well, I like having a fag, but I'm not going to smoke in front of the children. I never smoke inside the room. I only ever go out on the front door. Why can't they foster?
Well, we're not going to drag children away from foster parents they're already with.
No, I'm talking post-2010 when your policy comes into place.
In the future, we will not be using them as foster parents.
Okay, so now we're getting to it. So therefore, somebody who says, yes, I like a fag, I smoke 10, 20 a day, but I've never smoked in the house, I smoke outside, that person would not be allowed to be a foster parent.
No, because the trouble is, John, they do smoke in the house.
How do you know that?
Because we have counsellors on our council who are smokers, and they say, we never smoke in the building, there's a policy, we wouldn't dream. You go in their offices, there they are, puffing away illegally as they drop it on the floor.
So you are a Nazi then? You're a Nazi, because what you're saying is...
No, I'm not going to let you just say that, and whatever you're going to say next, that is an offensive, insulting remark that is emotive and brings discussion down to the lowest key.
Is that right?
Was why I was
and that's why you've just
about not appearing on your programme because of your sort of offensive comments of that nature, which are probably made to get me annoyed, which has made you successful.
You're just showing yourself up for the ignoramus you are, because you're not even allowing me to finish.
No, because
you're just shouting.
Have used an insulting man, which is probably actionable in law, to be quite honest.
I think your attitude is wrong.
Probably actionable.
Take action then.
Well,
take action, because listen to me.
More publicity, make you more thrilled.
Take action if you wish.
Make you more thrilled.
Take action if you wish. You are a health Nazi. You have no evidence.
You put another word in front now, so to carry out the legal part, have you? A health Nazi. That's all right. You probably get away with that one.
Well, I didn't even. You didn't even
say that before.
You didn't allow me to finish my sentence.
You've stopped me 3 times, so I don't see why I shouldn't stop you.
Do you want to carry on with the interview?
It's entirely up to you, John.
I would love to if you just shut up for a minute.
You've been on at me to come on this programme, so I suppose you want to talk to me.
And you've waited 24 hours to come on. I'll go back to my point,
I do have a life and a job like yourself.
I shall go back to my major question, shall I? When I said to you, somebody who smokes, right, who says they won't smoke in front of the child, you turn round and you said you don't believe them because you've got counsellors who are liars. Counsellors who say they won't smoke in the building but do. Well, just because some of your counsellors are liars doesn't mean the beautiful people who want to look after kids are, does it?
I don't follow that reasoning at all.
How do you not follow the reasoning?
Am I going to be able to reply
Is every smoker a liar?
Am I going to be able to comment or not? Are you going to keep talking? Or would you like to interview yourself? You're obviously very good at interviewing yourself. I've said that the trouble is when people do smoke, and I've been on other programs with people who smoke 60 a day, 20 or 30 a day, and I finally in the interview they say, well, it's all right to smoke downstairs, isn't it? No, it isn't. Passive smoking for children is very dangerous. Therefore, we have to take that sort of policy.
How many children have you got in care in the Redbridge area?
About 60 at the moment.
60. How many foster parents have you got?
Well, we've got about 80 or 90, but we also use private sometimes. About 18 smoke.
Have you ever been in care yourself?
About 18 smoke. No, have you?
Yes.
Oh. Good.
Well, good that I was in care.
Well, no, that you've got a personal view which will be valuable to the listeners to the programme.
Well, you should read my column in The Sun today, my friend, and I go back. You're a health Nazi, because you're suggesting that every smoker is alive.
I like the health bit.
I haven't... Well, you're a Nazi then, if you want that, because you want to be actionable, you get on with it. I'll go back to my point, Mr... What's your name again? Forgotten your name.
Well, I can't remember yours either. It's very difficult, isn't it?
Don't need to be rude. Michael Stark...
Well, you've been rude enough, so
Tory
I don't feel like be rude back. I mean, you give it out. Don't you like it back, John?
Oh, what I find odd is that you're the Cabinet Member for Children's Services, and you're talking in an aggressive, bullying manner.
Well, that's what your programme's intended to do. That's what you do. You wind people up, and you use rude emotive words, and then you get upset when they respond.
You just said, Councillor, that you haven't heard of my name, and you haven't heard the programme, so how do you know what my programme does? Anyway, we'll go back on to the main point. You haven't been through the care system yourself. You think smokers will lie, and they would smoke in front of the children. You are putting a blanket ban on people who smoke from fostering. You'd rather a child be wrapped up in bed on their own with you overnight in a children's home, like I was, 4 or 5 to a room, without a special person to look after them, when there's perfectly caring people out there who would like to take them on. I'm not a smoker myself, by the way, but some people do smoke. Some people do smoke, and they make fantastic foster parents as well. Most of them are responsible, like most parents are nowadays, and wouldn't smoke in an enclosed environment with their child. What gives you the right to set yourself up as somebody who thinks that all smokers are liars just because certain members of your councils are hypocrites and are liars? Why do you therefore taint everybody with the same brush? What makes you so knowledgeable, Councillor?
Can I have a go now?
Well, that's why I've paused.
Oh, good. I just thought you were making a speech.
No, you're being rude again. You're being
immensely rude. How calling somebody a Nazi can be more than...
we're going back to that. Why don't you go back to the answer to the question of what I've just put to you?
I'm trying to answer the question if you shut up for a moment. It's very difficult to get you to, isn't it? It's in the Jon programme. The point is that people do not live in the conditions that you were brought up in, which obviously has had an effect on you.
Oh, I see. So now... hold on a minute. You're now going to insult me, are you? And say that somehow, because I was in care, and because the experiences I've got, that I'm some kind of victim and I have some kind of psychological problem. I find that immensely offensive, not only to me, but to everybody else who's been through the care system, you ignorant pig.
And foster parents look after them, and we make sure they're looked after properly by foster parents, and we have social workers that go into homes and make sure that they have a good environment to live in. On balance, we feel that a smoking environment, we know for very small children who have very small airways and have illnesses, can well die if they find themselves as a result of smoking. Therefore, on balance, we feel that smoking environment is not acceptable for children, on balance, generally with exceptions.
There is no exception in your worldview, because what I've just said to you, my friend, is, what about a smoker who says they won't smoke? Why are you suddenly saying, why are you coming over as some kind of health fascist and saying that everybody who smokes is a liar? I know foster parents who smoke who would not smoke, and I say the care of the child should come first. It is better that a child is with a foster parent than in the home system. I'm not denigrating all the people who work in the care system, because a lot of them do a very damn good job under extremely testing circumstances for very low pay. However, it is in the best interest of the children. There's 60,000 children approximately in this country who are in the care system if they're put in a different environment. I'm sure you would agree with me on that. Why have you now put this ban in place to stop people who want to care for children? That's the point I'm making. It's not about a personal argument between you and me, although that's clearly what you want. It's about the child. No, it isn't, my friend, because I'm talking on behalf of children. Because I was one of... No, don't be an ignorant idiot. I was one of those children. I was one of those. I'm glad that you think you can laugh at the plight of children. I was one of those children. I don't want you to have an argument with me about this. I want you to talk about the kid. Do you agree with me? It's better for a child to be fostered or adopted than live through the residential care system.
We do not have people in residential care nowadays in the way that you were brought up.
Can I finish? Yes, you can.
Thank you very much.
Go on, smug.
Dr. Bernardo's and institutions like that do not exist nowadays.
I wasn't in Bernardo's.
Oh, dear. Were you born talking? Dr. Bernardo's...
Do you have any residential care homes in your area?
Dr. Bernardo's was originally... which that is in our area, actually. Dr. Bernardo's used to be a big residential care institution with families of 10 or 12 children. That is all gone now.
I know.
They do, and they specialise great supportive work with children with special needs, and they are...
Why are you talking about Bernardo's?
That is the area they specialise on.
What?
Because well, could you just let me finish?
Do you have residential children homes?
Would you hang up and interview yourself?
Sorry about that. There's no point in continuing the interview. 11:32.
For fellows such as you and I, who like a little bet, there's a top-drawer chap with all the stats.